Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series here on Full Throttle Television. Tonight we come to you from Kansas Speedway, Kansas City, Kansas, the site of the Kansas 200 for the Sim Racing Points truckers here tonight. And look forward to an exciting race here around this 1.5 mile, very smooth, very fast speedway here in Kansas. My name is Bernie Hanna. In the booth with me is Richie Coy. And Richie, look forward to some great racing here tonight on this track here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good track, pretty smooth, and I think the trucks will do good here. I'm expecting to see 3, maybe even 4 wide action here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. These guys are going to get out here and get to it here shortly. We're going to look at a track description real quick. And again, like I said, a 1.5 mile oval with the travel on the front, really fast. These trucks are going to carry a lot of speed around here. The banking in the corner is going to hold the trucks pretty well. I think we're going to see a draft race for the first half of the run or so, but I do think handling is going to be a factor as we wear the tires out here.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what the tire wear is here. If it's going to be a rather large fall off, and if it is going to be a rather large fall off, I agree that handling will definitely come into play later half of the run.
Well, we are in round 10, I believe. I'm trying to look at our description here. We'll look at our schedule, actually, right here. And we are Kansas. We got a couple races after this. We got Pocono, Texas, Watkins Glen, and Dover to end up the season. But only 5 races left, counting tonight, for these guys to get it done in the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. And an interesting schedule coming up as well.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty cool schedule right from the get-go. I mean, we've had a lot of different stuff on here, from a first-time race at Long Beach to Rockingham under the new concrete, and going to Pocono, Texas, Watkins Glen, and then Dover is just adding just some more diversity to the actual schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of last week at Bristol, looking at our results from Bristol, Justin Gann taking the checkered flag last week in a photo finish with him in the 15 of Nicholas Moreau. What an exciting finish. That was an exciting race altogether. Those guys door banging, beating and banging, coming to the white flag and racing it out to the end. A lot of good racing, clean racing. Clark Ginnikin watching it from third place. I think he kind of had the seat you had in the cup race, able to watch those guys kind of battle it out there right in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, he was there, and I think at one point he was actually even quicker than Justin, but just couldn't get that pass done. Nicholas came up with some newer tires, and he fell just short. And you're right, Clark had a great view, much better than us up here in the booth of that great side-by-side battle.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for sure. Looking at the points, Nicholas Moreau holding that points lead, but just barely, as Ryan Chapman's starting to inch in on him, close in there. They had an out and back at Bristol as well, but Ryan Chapman only a few points back. You got Clark Ginnikin in the mix there. Brett Gardner, who held the points lead for a while there, kind of slipped to 4th. And, of course, Justin Gann right there in 5th with that win last week.
Yeah, it's closing in for sure. I mean, like I said, we got Clark wins tonight, and he gets 15 extra points, which will basically take Nicholas's points lead away to Clark. So it's way too close to make any type of call at this point.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, they are gridded up and ready to go here at Kansas Speedway. We're going to throw it over to our starting lineup for the Kansas 200. And starting from the pole is the guy we were talking about. He's looking for redemption after finishing 2nd last week. It's going to be the 15, Nicholas Moreau, and his Toyota. It's going to be leading the way to the green flag here. On the front row, joining him on the front row is going to be Austin Demore, who's been fast lately. He's got to seal the deal, though, trying to get that first win of the league here in his Chevrolet. Fred Moreau, brother of Nick Moreau there on the front row. They're going to start nose to tail. Fred Moreau going to start in 3rd position in that number 75 Toyota. And joining him on the 2nd row is going to be the 9 of Marshall Johnson, another Toyota. Starting 5th is going to be the 3 of Justin Gann, last week's winner. And on row 3 on the outside, starting in 6th, is the 42 of Kyle Milliken. 7th spot going to go to Aaron Satcher in the number 13 Chevrolet for Speed Demon Esports. Joining him on that row in 8th position is going to be Brett Gardner in the 00. 9th spot for Forrester, first start with the league here tonight. Another Speed Demon Esports Chevy, and 10th spot going to go to Victor Pfluger of the same team in the number 16. All right, 11th spot going to be the one of Jonathan Atkins. His Chevrolet is going to start on the same row as the 89 of Chris Gore. 13th going to go to Britt Casey with Dave Nestor starting in 14th position. 15th going to Clark Ginnikin, and joining him on the row in 16th spot is going to be the number 8 of Brian Bliss.
Tanner Tomasi will roll off 17th in the 09 with Darren Clement in the 32 and 18th. Robert Malikian will roll off 19th in the number 16, and the 87 of Christopher Harrison rolls off 20th. Martin Garreau and Ty Lounsbury will roll off 21st and 22nd, with the 21 of Zach Stevens 23rd. Stephen Hassett 24th. Derek Catt will be 25th. J.C. Evans rolls off 26th. Simon Magnan rolls off 27th. Michael Thwaites will roll off 28th. Tony Solari 29th. Alex Murphy 30th. Joseph Burgess 31st. Ted Poland 32nd. Ryan Chapman 33rd. Jack Ritchie 34th. Case McMullen 35th. Michael Blackner 36th. And Donnie Batiste rounding out the field in 37th.
Looks like Burgess has kind of missed the start here. Going to start from the pits. 37 trucks to take the green flag tonight. As the pace car peels off, we're getting ready to start it here at Kansas. The Kansas 200 about to start here with Nicholas Moreau going to bring them down. Green flag flies, and away we go here in Kansas.
Yep, here we go. Great start by both sides, up and low, as the 12 of Austin Demore is hanging tough on the outside there. It's really tough to hang up there on these restarts for the trucks on the outside, but he's doing pretty good.
Side by side off turn 2 they come. Now Nicholas getting a little push from his brother Fred there. Fred going to push him out front. Nicholas takes the lead. Fred into second. Austin Demore in third. Ooh, Austin Demore in the wall.
Yeah, and right behind him, Justin Gant sliding up in front of Marshall Johnson in the number 9.
Somebody flashing back there. I think it's maybe Kyle Milliken. Now Austin Demore looking to the inside of Fred Moreau. Almost three wide back there.
We got 3 wide with the 10, the 27, and the 09. And now we got 3 wide in front of them with the Aaron Satcher, Brett Gardner, and Jonathan Atkins.
But that is a hornet's nest right there for sure.
And they're still 3 wide heading into turn 1 here.
Yeah, as the sun starts to set, the sun gleaming off these cars. We are going to race into the dark here tonight. Just a reminder, stage lap 35. And racing 134 laps here tonight at Kansas, 200 miles.
Yeah, and it's going to be action like this. Is now we got Marshall Johnson looking back underneath Justin Gann, trying to get that spot back that he lost 2 laps ago.
Yeah, Nicholas Moreau's pulled out to quite a lead here. And when we get a break, I'll refresh the paints. But unfortunately, I have this paint scheme. It's red. It looks like a default paint scheme up front.
Yeah, he's running his normal, I believe, Easy Web paint scheme and transit. Yes, he is.
Everybody starting to sort things out here.
He is. He's kind of pulled away. Fred, from his brother Fred, who's got Austin right behind him.
Well, I said they sorted out. They're 3 wide again back here.
Wide.
Jonathan Atkins in the middle. You got Britt Casey on the bottom. No, Jonathan Atkins on the top. Sorry. Britt Casey and Brett Gardner, I believe, all right there.
And they're 3 wide behind them with the 13, the 69, and the 10. I think we're going to set it a lot tonight.
Apparently so. Very racy so far tonight. You can kind of use every bit of racetrack tonight, and they are testing that theory out already.
Yep, we got 3 wide again, this time with the 69, the 09, and Aaron Satcher on the outside with Clark Innigan behind him.
Very tight racing off the corner there. Mike Forrester, a little contact off the corner with Tanner Tomasi. Just a slight contact, but they sort that out.
It's going to be close racing, and the giraffe package with these trucks is quite large. So that's one of the reasons why it's really tough to get away from all the other trucks.
in the top lane again. Just kind of, I don't know if he's forced up there or if he wants to run up there. Either way, he's been up there, I think, every lap so far. And the truck's underneath him. Big Fluger underneath. But looks like Aaron's going forward. He's going to clear the Fluger machine.
And as that's going on, we got Austin Demore underneath Fred Moreau there for second place, and Justin Gann actually caught these duos, so put the second, third, and fourth right there under a blanket.
Austin gets the pass done, but Fred gets a run down the straightaway. Does he choose to stay in line? Yes, he does. The wily veteran saying, nah, it's not time to get too racy right here. I'm just going to let you have that one and ride.
Just looking back through the field, we have kind of strung out a little bit. Guys are just, seems like they're being a little patient tonight. I mean, I know we've called 3 wide a bunch of times already, but yeah, the only one I see right now is the 50 of Martin Garreau heading to the outside of the 69 of Mike Forstner down into turn 3.
Yeah, we're refreshing the paint so we get these paint schemes fixed up for you here as they slowly reload back in here.
Jonathan Atkins still on the high side, and I think he's doing that on purpose.
Atkins on the top. It's Brett Gardner underneath him. Brett up the track just a little bit there.
Jonathan's one of them high riders. He loves to run the high side. And this is a track that you can do that with, but I would be a little concerned about my tire wear. Running the high side for the entire run has a tendency to burn tires off quicker. Makes them hotter or something.
Ooh.
Nicholas.
Brett Gardner and Wall just a little bit off the corner there. Him and Brett Casey.
And I just watched the 69 get loose and hit the wall right behind him. He's in the wall again.
Yeah, in the wall hard off turn 4 there.
That was a hard hit.
Yeah. If the first one didn't break it, I'm pretty sure that one did.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he's turning. And he's still up to speed. Just lost a bunch of spots.
Dropping to the back, the 69 Mike Forster. Again, making his first start in FTSR tonight, and having a bit of a struggle early on here. Get that one fixed up and get back in contention.
And one of the things I'm seeing here is, it's as we've gotten strung out, it looks like it's a little bit tough to pass. Although, as I say that, I'm watching a group of cars side by side here. But it does look like it can be very difficult to pass here.
Yeah, so Jonathan Atkins working at the top of the 42 of Kyle Millick, and Atkins up 4 spots from where he started in 11th. So he's starting to go the right direction. Using that top side, but like you said, I am kind of interested to see how the tire wear develops here and how that affects the trucks, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the Vanlilys sticker series that runs here on Tuesday night with the B-class car, it was he definitely burned off the tires more on the high side than he did on the low side. So.
Oh, Justin Moreau, Fred Moreau, Justin Gann just made contact there through the corner, and they're 3 wide behind him. Marshall Johnson, Jonathan Atkins through the middle, and Kyle Milliken at the top. So all of a sudden it got a little spicy here.
Yeah, and Justin Gann and Fred Moreau still side by side.
Yes,
as, it looked like Jonathan and Kyle and Britt Casey, although Britt Casey's going back underneath Jonathan, they all worked through the 3 wide too. And here comes Brett Gardner underneath Marshall Johnson, and that's for 8th and 9th.
Yeah, Gardner trying to take that position away. Marshall Johnson holding tough. Side by side in front of them, Jonathan Atkins underneath Britt Casey.
And this is what I was saying. I mean, you could catch somebody, and if you don't make the pass, and you have to lift or get off of the throttle, and there's guys behind you, that brings them right up directly to you, and you can actually try to gain a spot, not make it, and then lose 2 or 3 more.
Aaron Satcher in the wall off turn 2 there, just a little bit.
Oh, the 3! Oh, the 3 was pinching down the 75 through 3 and 4, and there was contact made. I don't know how he saved that truck.
They were together a lap ago anyway, with the 75 up the track a little bit. So, ooh, I think the 75 in the wall a little bit off the corner. No, I think he stayed off of it. Hard to tell from that vantage point.
Well, that has now got 3rd through 9th, 10th, and 11th, all under a blanket. They're all within a second and a half here. So that goes to what I was saying, is that if you have to get off the throttle, that brings the guys behind you back up just that much quicker.
Yeah, for sure. Jonathan Atkins right up against the wall through 1 and 2. Using that top side, using every bit of asphalt here tonight, and we've seen that in the past at this track, that you can run from the bottom to the top, all the way to that wall.
Yeah, I mean every lane is viable here tonight, and especially after on a restart, the bottom's going to prevail. But once you get about 3 laps in, you could use pretty much every lane and make your way forward.
Milliken moving to the top there. Jonathan Atkins in the wake there. You got to wonder if that's going to make him a little tight. Boy, he's right there against the wall. Britt Casey underneath him. Battle for 6 between Casey and Atkins.
Now, what I am noticing is that after that contact, 75 of Fred Moreau moved up to the top side of the racetrack, and he has driven away from Justin Gann and has literally caught Austin Demore within about 2 laps and is working on him for second.
There's Austin Demore, Fred Moreau right behind him. Fred using that top, getting a great run off the corner. Going to catch Demore right there.
Yeah, he has found something up there for sure.
Boy, he's racing all over this track. Ooh, almost contact. Oh, we got a car in the wall. Marshall Johnson with contact hits the wall in the front stretch. Is going to lose tons of position. Actually going to pull off the track and into the grass.
Oh, hang on down there. It could get kind of treacherous.
Let's go back and see what happened right there to cause that.
He is.
Oh, he got.
He might have been contact.
He got the wall and then got loose and then smacked that outside wall.
Smacked it.
I reloaded my paints and I still don't see Nicholas's paint scheme, so unfortunately we're not seeing that.
So now we have Fred Moreau actually looking to the outside of Austin Demore for second, but Justin Gann has moved up to the outside. They're 3 wide. They're going 3 wide.
He's going to take it 3 to the inside. 3 wide for second place. Now 2 wide. As Fred Moreau pulls ahead of Austin Demore, and actually Justin. Oh,
contact again!
Contact again, and there goes the 75 into the wall.
Man, those guys have definitely been together.
Not really sure what happened there.
To me, that looked like it was a discrepancy on where the trucks were going to run through the dogleg.
75. Yeah, he kind of comes down. The 30 was up a little bit, or the 3 was up just a little bit. Yeah, it looks like they were going for the same spot.
And this is one of the things that happen at these type of tracks is that if the guy doesn't run below, if there's 2 guys running side by side or even 3, and the guy on the outside thinks the guy on the inside is going to be somewhere, and that truck is anywhere but where you think it is, that's the kind of stuff that can happen right there is contact.
24 laps in the books, only about 11 laps, so we see that stage break, that stage caution, and some of these guys are going to be looking for adjustments. Oh, you see Jonathan Atkins in the wall on entry 1. They're going to be looking for adjustments. They might be looking for some repairs as well.
Well, that would be an adjustment. I mean, if they got to bring the baseball bat out to flare out those fenders, that is an adjustment. Maybe not an approved adjustment, but it's still an adjustment.
Might have to adjust the drivers. Some of this racing we've seen here.
I mean, I'm looking back. I'm looking back at Tanner and Tanner Tomasi and JC Evans running side by side, all the way back here in 16th and 17th. These guys are racing hard for every single spot out here. There's battles all over the racetrack as guys are kicking and clawing their way, trying to make their way to the front.
Yeah, there's Satcher too in the foreground, racing Darren Clement. A couple of teammates right there. Robert Malikian in front of him. You got Fred Moreau in the mix right there as well.
And I'm looking at my standings here, and I see Ryan Chapman is in last place, one lap down, having pitted on lap 2. I wonder if he got some kind of penalty at the beginning and had to do a pass through. But he is unfortunately not the lucky dog candidate right now. That would be Joseph Burgess. So even at the stage, he's not even going to get his lap back. So that's going to be a rough night. And I do believe he's our points leader, or second in place in points.
Yeah, he's second in points to Nicholas Moreau. It's going to be a big hit tonight. He's got to claw out of that hole. And like you said, it's not going to be this is an aspect here. We're looking Chris Gore, Tanner Tomasi, Zach Stevens, everybody kind of packed in together. They're kind of in the middle of that hornet's nest. But yeah, he's got to climb out of that hole and salvage something tonight if he wants to stay in contention in the points.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially with Nick on his way to winning the stage here. He's got a 1.2 second lead over Justin Gann, and then Kyle Milk and Britt Casey. Aston Demore has fallen back to 5th. So, 3 wide. Tanner Tomasi in a wall.
Yeah, I think he was looking for somewhere to go, and instead of just following him through there, he was trying to find a hole, but he found the wall.
He did, and you'll notice that Fred Moreau, unfortunately, it looks like he has some damage to his truck, and as he's fallen back into the clutches of this group.
He's just hanging
Jonathan Atkins. Contact from behind. Jonathan Atkins gets a little loose down the front stretch.
Racing with Austin Demore. Racing with Britt Casey, Clark Denikin. He's right up against the wall. Some ill-handling trucks here early on. I can tell they're hanging on. Either they're tied or loose or
both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a pack here. With what you're looking at here. Looked like Jonathan Atkins was a little loose coming off that corner right there. But we are closing in on the stage. We have 4 or 5 laps to go to the stage.
Yeah, so we're on lap 30. So 5 more laps of this.
Yep.
And these guys are actually racing inside the stage points. These positions kind of matter a little bit more for the stage break.
And I'm looking, and Justin Gann has taken about 4/10 off of Nick's lead. I'm not sure he's going to have enough to get there, but this is good news for Justin for later in the race.
Yeah, after the nice, clean, contact-free, well, I want to say contact-free racing, but the clean race, the clean finish last week, to see the contact between the 3 of Gann and the brother of Nicholas, Fred Moreau, early on is a stark change for the race for the win last week.
Well, and that's what happens when you get this type of racing, when aero is so important that you do whatever you can to try to keep the momentum up to keep, so you don't lose that momentum. That it does tend to bring some contact because everybody's trying to get every inch out of their truck that they could possibly get. Sometimes they take other people's inches.
Yeah, Moreau is just past the 9 of Marshall Johnson, so he is now the first car 1 lap down.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And 1 or 3, 2 more laps to the end of the stage. You're right. You see Justin Gann entering the picture here. Might be a little too late for the stage win, but himself in position to be a contender tonight. Kyle Milliken having a great run in 3rd right now. Britt Casey right behind him in 4th. And then right behind him,
Hornet's Nest.
Yes, this is where the action is. Ginnikin and Atkins side by side here. That's for 5th spot.
And I will say, even if Justin doesn't get there, this is going to put Nick on notice that Justin's got a good long run car.
Catching Marshall Johnson here going to get tight. Where's Marshall going to go? To the middle. They're going to split him inside, outside.
Nicely done. Nicely done. We got a couple more cars to go. Marshall on the wall trying to get up out of the way.
Got a battle for third here. Coming to the stage break. Casey trying to get to Kyle Milliken. I don't think he's going to have time. He's not going to quite get there. Nicholas Moreau, though, going to come across and win the stage here tonight at Kansas Speedway. Justin Gann closing in every so slightly, lap after lap. And that's going to do it for our stage. So Nicholas Moreau, Justin Gann, Kyle Milliken, Britt Casey. Photo finish for fifth. I think Clark Ginnikin got that one.
He did, yep. And Jonathan Atkins, Brett Garner, Victor Pfluger, Austin Demore, Robert Malikian round out your top 10 for your stage.
Well, I think we learned a lot. I think the drivers out there learned a lot early on here through that first stage, kind of seeing what their cars are going to do. Some big movers both ways, forwards and backwards. Clark Ginnikin up 10 spots up to fifth position. So he's trying to catch his teammate Justin Gann up there in second. Meanwhile, we got some drivers moving backwards. One being, he started back there, Ryan Chapman, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's still a lap down.
Yeah, still
we get a quickie caution here. If we get a quickie caution, he might be able to capitalize on that. But you got Fred Moreau, who's lost 24 spots with that contact. Mike Forstner is down 21 with his contact to the wall early. But some big movers besides Clark Ginnigan. You got Stephen Hassett up 10 spots, Simon Magnan up 12, Ty Lounsbury's up 10, Alex Murphy up 12. So we got some guys coming, some guys going here during this stage.
Yeah, very exciting racing early on. 35 laps clean so far for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series here at Kansas. Been exciting, but for the most part, it's been clean. A little contact here and there.
Oh,
a little contact coming.
What is going on? The 3 getting in the back of the 15 there.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
He's having some Moreaus.
He's having a night, yeah.
Looking at trying to think, pit road speed is 45, I think. Yeah, it's 45. Nick comes in off the racetrack, and he's at like 60 miles an hour and slows down. And yeah, Justin, I guess, didn't slow down as much.
Well, I wonder if there's any damage for those two trucks. Or any of the other ones,
normally,
maybe accordion there, I don't know.
And normally I'd be like, it would be worse on Justin because of the front, but with these trucks, any damage to the back, and it could cause just as much problems as the front. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that neither of them had any damage because they both made it out. They are still first and second.
I'm going to take this opportunity to reload these paints and cross my fingers and hope for the best. As the pace car lights are off, we're going to get one lap to go here. We're going to get a restart. It's going to be Nicholas Moreau leading them off pit road. Justin Gann in second. Kyle Milliken, Britt Casey, Clark Ginnikin, your top 5. Pretty much the same that they finished the stage there. Solid pit stops coming off pit road.
And just a quick update. Ryan Chapman with a strategy move stayed out and took a wave around. So put Ryan Chapman back on the lead lap.
I think it's
albeit on old tires.
A good call, kind of a desperate move to hopefully get a quick caution here on this restart, and it definitely could happen.
Yeah, it's about to go on. It's about to be on here. Restarts here are you're going to see lots of guys 2, 3, and probably 4 wide.
All right,
lights are off. Yeah.
Pace car is going to peel off. We're going to get a restart here. Nicholas Moreau leading. Justin Gann in second. Finally got his paint scheme. That's obvious. That's awesome. Into the restart zone. Green flag flies. And Nicholas going to get a great jump. And we're going to do this some more here.
Yeah, just a little bit of some checkups going on back in the pack, but Nicholas shoots out to the lead. We got Kyle Milken underneath Justin Gann going through 1 and 2 here. Maybe, yeah, side by side. Clark Ginnigan definitely like the stages. Oh,
Yeah,
he lifted a little late there. Yeah.
And actually, Kyle Milken going to take over that second position. I'm not too surprised to see Kyle up here. Kyle has been known to be close race between Britt Casey and Justin Gann.
Britt Casey up to third.
I tell you what, Gann's been in all of it tonight so far.
Yeah, it's he needs to go out and get one of them Target sponsorships so he can put the bullseye on him, because he's definitely had it on him.
Mack is using that top lane early on. Immediately goes to it. I'm not surprised. I don't know if you are. I'm not. Loves that top side.
And it seemed to work for him. It didn't look like that he was any worse off at the end of the stage for running the top side as anybody else was. So.
Nope. It's working for him. Going forward, going the right direction, up 6 spots. So trying to get a few more.
Looking back, we got Aaron Satcher in the 13 running side by side with Ty Lansbury just outside the top 10 with Hannah Tomasi, Simon Magnan, and Jack Ritchie, who started all the way in the back of the pack. Jack Ritchie is up 19 spots right now.
Yeah, climbing his way through the field. Almost a 3-wide situation. Nope. On the road, Zach Stevens, Alex Murphy back here. A couple of Rumble racing trucks in this group.
And then up front, we still got Nicholas Moreau doing what he did in the last beginning of the last run. He's up to 0.7 seconds of a lead over Kyle Milken. So I think he's going to try to stretch that lead as far as he can before any tire wear starts to come in.
Yeah, I didn't finish my thought on Kyle, I don't think. I said it was not surprising to see him run well at a track like this. He is really good at these 1.5 miles, kind of the bigger track. He's good at super speedways too, but I remember him being really good at a place like California, where it's kind of a sweeping, really fast track as well. You kind of wrap that corner a long time in the corner. Same thing here, sort of. A little more banking than California, of course, but yeah, I'm not surprised to see him run well here tonight. Having a good run so far, staying out of trouble, and the best way to stay out of trouble is to stay towards the front. You get in that mid-pack and towards the back of the pack, there's a lot of stuff, as you've seen, we've shown you, that goes on back there in the middle of the pack. If you can stay towards the front, you can have a solid night and kind of stay out of the scrum.
I think Fred might actually say something about getting in trouble even in the front of the pack.
Well, true.
Yeah, it is more apt to happen in the middle of the pack because everybody's all on top of each other. But not only, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of Fred Moreau, he's a lap down back
3.
here off the pace. Oh, he's 3 laps down?
4 actually. I'm sorry, 4 laps down. Yeah, he went in and on that caution and got all of his damage done, fixed. So yeah, he's 4 laps down.
Nicholas Moreau has jumped out to a pretty nice lead, though. And Kyle Milken's starting to fall back into the clutches of Britt Casey, Justin Gann, and these other guys. We're going to have a battle for second here shortly, or we're going to have a battle for third in turn 3 here.
Yeah, and Britt Casey is Kyle's teammate. So whatever Kyle's running, Britt is probably got something close. So
he's even got the same internet. Looks like he's flashing out too.
They're sharing the internet bandwidth. That's why they flash independently.
Yeah, I've seen some flashes out of Britt Casey there, and we've seen it out of Kyle Milliken. So yeah, they are teammates and having a solid run so far for both of them.
Maybe that's on the application for Elevated Esports. Does your internet flash? Yes or no? But speaking of teammates, we got Tony Solari and Brian Bliss right inside the top 20 going side by side, even though they're pseudo teammates.
The middle of the Hornets nest I was talking about. They're pretty stacked up in front of them, but right now this is where the action is.
So I would say the Hornet's Nest is from 10th to 30th. That would be the whole nest.
Tanner Tomasi trying to take it 3 wide there. Gets by actually Victor Pfluger. Now working on Ty Lounsbury.
Top 10, is it not?
That is a battle for 10.
Makes it past.
Yeah.
I still have to do double takes when I look at the 23 on the racetrack and I'm talking to you up here in the booth. In fact, actually, I think that's even the same or very similar to the font that you used to run on your 23 truck.
I think it might be.
He is. It's almost as weird as seeing as a 19 out there, although I don't think there is a 19 out there at the moment.
A battle for 4th and 5th. Austin DeMore, Britt Casey. DeMore trying to use
DeMore of the track.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And so we got Justin Gann had made it past Kyle Milken.
Yeah, I was going to say a pass per second. Justin Gann, that's what I just noticed, that was able to get around the 42. Side by side behind him, Britt Casey, Austin DeMore. A little loose there in turn 1 and 2. I think he had to give that position up. And then on Jonathan Atkins, still using that top, getting those runs off the corners, starting to inch in on these guys.
Well, they say sometimes you can't beat the guy if you're following the guy, and Jonathan has taken that to a new level.
Well, I have heard the guys.
Oh,
wow, that was close.
Contact. Man, we saw that and a move like that last night that ended up a little bit worse than that one did.
Yeah.
Ooh, 88 in the wall.
Yeah. He's kind of starting to get shaken up here.
So the first run, Austin was up front early and fell back. I'm wondering if he's trying to take it a little bit easy this time and make his tires last longer than they did last time.
If he's taking it easy, I don't think he's doing a good job. He's going forward, trying to get to Justin Gann. We've seen this out of the DeMore machine across all series, man. He's fast early on, but, man, tire saving, and I speak from experience. Tire saving is not his MO. It doesn't seem like he's really good on the long runs, but really fast on the short runs. And again, like I'm saying that because I'm kind of in the same boat. I just have not figured out the tire saving thing.
So I mean, I'm looking at this top 10, right? So you got Nicholas Moreau, champion truck winner. Justin Gann, multi-time truck winner. Actually, he's won in a couple different series now. Austin DeMure, truck winner. Kyle Milken, he's got a truck win. Britt Casey's new to the league, does not. Clark Ginnikin, I believe he's got a truck win. Jonathan Atkins got a championship here. Britt Casey's got a win.
Well,
I mean, this is.
I hate to interrupt you. Something happened to Tanner Tomasi there. I was going back and looking at a replay here. He just dropped off the map here. Let's see if something happened off the corner. Side by side. He just disappeared. What about Simon Magnan?
He was outside of Simon Magnan.
Yeah, he just disappears like a connection issue.
And I see manually disconnected, so I'm thinking there was 2 buttons that were pushed there.
Ah.
But I don't know why he was running side by side.
He Alt F quitted it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe something happened. Maybe something happened. Hopefully everything's okay over there.
Yeah.
But just going back, I'm just looking at this top 8 of the truck series, and it's just stacked.
You're right. You look at the stats, look at the guys that run up front. There's a reason why they have wins and why they have the stats is because they do run up front. I'm kind of waiting. I got my eyes on Clark Ginnikin back here because he's one guy. He's run towards the front more than any other guy. He's the one without I think he's without a win.
I think he might have got a win maybe in the D season.
Okay.
I want to say he's got a win.
I
back. I'm going to look it up.
I
I'm going to
was
look it
going to
up.
look it up myself.
You produce. I'll look it up.
Sounds good. I wonder if he does, though, because, like I said, he's one of the guys, he shows up, he's very consistent towards the front. Jonathan Atkins in the wall again off the corner. Scraping that silver. He's going to scrape all that chrome off the car. But Atkins, and Atkins is another one who's got several wins. He's up there as well. But yeah, Gennikin is one of the guys. He shows up week in, week out in the top 5. I feel like he plays a support role to Justin Gann all the time, because him and Justin are kind of running in the same position. And that's a credit to the team, is the fact that they can kind of run together. It seems like week in, week out, when they have good runs, they run together. They both have good runs. When they miss it a little bit, they both are together. And they seem to have very similar driving styles.
Yeah, for sure. And I do verify that Clark has a win in the B Cup cars, the Vanlilys series, I believe from the D season. So he does have a FTSR win, just not a truck win.
I'm looking for him to break out and get a truck win here shortly. Maybe tonight's the night.
He's up front. He's up front every week. So,
yeah.
And as we're looking around, Justin Gann, when he broke out the second, it was about 1.5 seconds to the lead, and he's just broken under a second. So he is closing on our leader, Nicholas Moreau.
Yep, not far behind there. This is kind of the trend we saw in the stage. Nick jumps out to a lead, and then Justin closes in. Kind of hopefully a little longer of a run here, and we'll see as they get deeper in the tire run and see what happens.
And right behind him, we got Britt Casey tried to get by Austin Demore on the inside, and that opened up the door for the 27 of Clark Innigan to make his way to the outside of the 88.
Ooh, almost contact between the 23 of Stephen Hassett and Victor Fluger right there racing together for 10th spot. No, that was Lounsbury and Gardner.
Don't look back to. I don't even know where I'm not looking here. I'm looking at. Can't find them on my list. I hate it when that happens. Oh, 20th on back. They're 3 wide and 2 wide. Man, you can't tell me that these guys back here aren't racing as hard as the guys up front.
No, because like I said, the group in front's racing hard. This looks even worse back here, or better, depending on your point of view. You're right.
Man,
they are racing hard and using every bit of the track. And it's got to be a lot of fun to kind of be able to move around and run some different lines. And I think they're kind of forced to. I was going to say about the one of Jonathan Atkins, who's currently in 7th. He's using that top lane. You said something about getting clean air. You say it jokingly about not wanting to run the same line as the guys you're racing, but I really think that's a thing. He's trying to keep the clean air on the front of his truck and keep it turning. Now, I will say, bouncing off the walls is not going to help his cause. You got to kind of take care of that right side of the truck, but yeah, trying to find some clean air like that really will help out.
And honestly, that's why I don't run up there, because I can't be responsible to keep the car off the wall if I got to run up the top lap after lap. Just can't do it.
Groups, we got like 3 different groups here. The front top 10 or so, and then from 10th on back to about 20th, and then about 18th, and then this group here.
And all these cars from 1st to about 30th are all on the backstretch together. So everybody's still got a shot at this particular point. Even though if you're in 25th, you can still see the lead group.
Yeah, we're about to reach the halfway point, which what lap would that be, Richie, at halfway?
134, that's what, 72? I think we might want to take a look at the lead. As
a lead change here shortly, Nicholas Moreau.
Yeah, Justin Gann.
Clutches of Justin Gann.
He has chased him down, and he's looking. And I haven't been watching Nicholas. I think Nicholas has been running the bottom. Justin might have been running the top, and now Nicholas has moved up to try to arrow block the three. See if it works out for him. But Justin Gann there.
Clark Ginnikin's moved into third as well. His teammate moving forward, getting around. Oh, Austin Moore, who smacks the wall coming off the corner, right in the path in the tire tracks of Clark Ginnikin. And he smacks the wall trying to keep the gas in it. That's going to do some big damage here as Britt Casey got around him.
He was definitely having a really good run. He was in fourth, and hopefully we'll see how much damage he's got. I know that damage definitely killed Fred Moreau's truck. We'll see if the 12 can hang on and maybe make it to the pit stop.
On board with Justin Gann here in the 3 truck, kind of hounding the 15 Nicholas Moreau. I feel like he's kind of gotten there and kind of stabilized. I don't know if he's decided to ride here and just take his time, or if that dirty air is starting to affect him with Gann fighting Moreau.
Oh, okay. I think that Moreau was running the bottom, and I think he moved up into the lane that Justin was running. And that, if Justin only has a really good lane that he could be in, that could definitely disrupt his forward momentum. But they are
Moreau loose off the corner. Side. Yeah, Moreau got a little loose there off the corner. It allowed Gann to get to his inside there. He's going to clear him and take the lead.
Yeah, new leader. And don't look now, because there's a black 27 that's right there as well.
He's making me look good. I told you, I would keep my sights on it. I felt like he had the threes number last week, but unfortunately they were kind of put in a box where he was trying to not hinder the 3 truck and allow Nicholas Moreau to catch him, so he had to kind of settle for what ended up being third. But he's got a strong truck tonight. He's closed in on these 2, and honestly, the 3 has had some contact. I kind of wonder if it maybe has affected his truck. I say that. He's leading right now, but now under fire once again from Nicholas Moreau.
Yeah, Nick moved down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2 and rolled it better than Justin. Clark running the high side behind him, and right behind them, Britt Casey.
Looks like Moreau got a little tight off the corner there. It's going to allow the 27 to close up on the back bumper. Looking high, now looking low into turn 1. Clark Ginnikin going to the bottom, trying to take away second.
And you have to be able to slide job clear him in order to make the pass, or you have exactly happen what just happened is the guy on the outside gets a run and just drives right by you down straightaway.
The 3 got a little tight off the corner of turn 2 as well. That's pulled Moreau right back into the clutches of Justin Gann. Great racing up front from our leaders here. And here comes Britt Casey. Britt Casey all of a sudden back in contention here in the top 4. Kind of a 4-truck breakaway.
Yeah, he wants to put his hat in the ring here. But this is the 3 that we had the great finish with last week, repeating here.
That's true, and this is the way they finished. 1, 2, 3 in line once again. Justin Gann, Nicholas Moreau, Clark Ginnikin. And I'm sure there's at least 2 of those trucks that want to change the running order from last week.
Well, I bet you there's there's at least 3, because I bet you the 88 of Britt Casey's like, I want to completely mess that up and put my name up there. He's looking good to do it.
Ginnikin to the bottom of Nicholas Moreau once again. And the slide. Oh, Nicholas Moreau on the wall. Yeah. He's going to let Ginnikin have that spot. So Speed Demon Esports 1-2 as Ginnikin moves around.
Looks like Moreau has gotten tight, especially on the high side. But he is looking underneath the 27.
27 got the momentum off the top, though. He's going to be able to retain that position. They're catching some lap traffic here. Who's actually taking the top lane. That's going to be trouble for Justin Gann, who's moved to the top. Now in the dirty air. Here comes Clark Ginnikin underneath. Battle for the lead.
Just clears him going into 3 here.
And now Nicholas Moreau dives underneath Clark Ginnikin as they get around this lap vehicle. That's Ryan Chapman.
That's the 60 of Joseph Burgess.
But Chapman's showing another lap down now.
He is, yes. Why? Because he pitted.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably had
Chapman.
a pit before these guys. You know, he stayed out on that stage hoping for a quick caution. He did not get it.
Yeah, he pitted 10 laps ago at lap 48. So he hadn't pitted from the beginning of the race. So I'm sure he was out of fuel at that point.
Right. All right, we'll see if the teammate can do something with his last week's winner, the 3 of GAN.
And once again, the 27 looks to have the better truck.
I agree.
And catching and passing, though, are two completely different things, as we've seen.
I think he heard me talking about it. Let me put
I got to do better.
I was gonna say, let me put that to rest here and get up here.
But with that, it's still a 4-car breakaway. And if these two start battling side by side, that's going to bring the other two right back up to them. So
I got to start thinking about pit stops here too. 78 laps in the book, 56 laps to go.
Yeah, everybody pitted except for Ryan. Pitted on lap 37. So I would expect them in. I think we've got like 20, 25 laps to go yet.
Well, they've been out there, what? Would you say 37, 47, 57?
37, yeah. So.
Yes, they've been out there 40 laps.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I was looking at laps to go, not what lap we're on. Yeah, okay, we're at lap 79, and we're almost at lap 80 here. So, yeah, I would say 4 or 5 laps, and we should see pit stop.
The question
got to look at the right number.
Oh, Austin DeMore in the wall again off turn 2 there. Here comes Kyle Milliken around him.
Oh, he did. Oh, my God. I'm watching the 23 to 91 and the 13, and Aaron Satcher said, "I am going to the outside of you, Mr. Stephen Hassett," and forced his way up there.
Racing hard all the way through this pack. I'm sure we missed some stuff, Richie. Unfortunately, with this battle going on up front, these guys battling hard back here as well. Got Stephen Hassett, Aaron Satcher, Tom Owlsbury right in front of him, Alex Murphy around.
Satcher in the wall, lost all those positions he just worked so hard to get. Oh, contact with the leaders.
Oh, Clark Gennican off the pace, sliding around on the front stretch, trying to hang on to it. Is he going to hang on to it? He slides sideways. Nope, that's going to bring out a caution. Caution flies.
Wow. That's going to be a debrief I don't want to be. I'd like to be a fly in the wall for.
You said that was teammates?
Yeah.
And that opened the door for Nicholas Moreau to come through. Britt Casey to second as well. You know, if you think back a couple weeks to Rockingham, there was another altercation between teammates. The 3 was leading. And there was another truck that was off the pace in front of him that took him out of contention. So I'm sure he's having flashbacks. I'm sure he's having flashbacks as well.
And that wasn't just any old teammate. That was the team owner that was involved in that.
Let's go back and look and see what happened to Clark Gennican here on the front stretch. Coming through 3 and 4. Off the corner, the 3 slides up. I think he has to check up a little bit. Oh, and he comes down on Clark Gennican, puts him in the grass, and Gennican trying to save it. Got all that grass on his tires. Out back, left and right. Chased it all the way down the front stretch, and finally it just spun out. I think he tried to get down there, but yeah.
I think the 3 got tight and loose and then came down. The 27 had a great run off the top of the corner. And I think when the 3 wiggled, his truck waggled into the front of the 27.
He put him into the grass there. When he wiggled, the back of his truck sent Clark Gennican to the grass.
And we were close. We were 3, 4, or 5 laps to pit stops, and here we are. Everybody down pit road.
Chase this truck, and he had the transition from the apron to the track there kind of messed him up too. Almost had it saved, and then that just threw him for another loop and could not hang on to it. Finally got those tires mad enough that it just was not going to grip the track.
We quit.
Do what?
That's what the tire said. We quit.
Yeah, for sure. All right, pit stop's complete. Nicholas Moreau comes back out as your leader. Britt Casey second, Justin Gann third, just as they came in. Victor Pfluger up to fourth position, kind of sneaking into the top five here, right in front of Kyle Milliken, Britt Gardner, Jonathan Atkins, Jack Ritchie, Austin DeMore, and Stephen Hassett, your top 10.
Now, what this did do? Guess who got the lucky dog?
The dog. Who got the dog?
Ryan Chapman. Ryan Chapman is now officially back on the lead lap and able to pit and get on the same tire strategy as the rest of the field. It's only taken 80-something laps to do it.
He's barely going to beat the pace car off there.
And that would stink to get the lucky dog and not make it off the pit road in front of him.
And we got some guys coming in and topping off on this one to go. Jonathan Atkins, J.C. Evans, Brian Blitz, Casey McMullen, Michael Blackner all coming in to top off. 50 laps remaining. Can you do 50 laps? I feel like it's outside the window.
Well, we know that Ryan went from the start of the race to lap 48 before he had to pit.
So it is close.
So it's got to be pretty close, yeah. And then you got to remember that there's going to be this extra slow caution right here. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
Clark Kinnikin is restarting 21st.
Kind of while we're almost 3 wide back here in the mid pack, but they don't throw the caution and try to get things sorted out here. That's going to help those guys that stopped and saved fuel.
Yes, yep, that's another lap. Interesting. We've got Nicholas, Britt Casey, Justin Gann, Victor Pfluger. We haven't really said his name much in the top 10, in the top 5.
I just said it when we
He's
came
up
off pit
fourth.
road.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying he's made his way up the top in the 4th.
Yeah.
So is he going to have anything for the top guys here? He's up 6 spots from his starting position.
He's had kind of a quiet night. Like I said, he quietly snuck into the top 5 here. Kind of a quiet night. And I tell you what, if they keep banging doors up here and knocking fenders in, we might see somebody sneak in here and do something.
Well, that unfortunately for the 3 car, he's been in a lot of contact tonight. I'm not saying he's out there doing a wreck fest type of a deal, but he's been involved with some contact with a bunch of other trucks out there.
Rough go of it. Last one with his teammate, so see if he can kind of rein things in. Pace car's off though. Nicholas Moreau gonna lead him down. Britt Casey in second. Gann, Pfluger, and Milliken your top 5. Green flag flies. Here we go.
Not a bad jump by Britt Casey on the outside. He's going to go in the corner outside of Justin Gann, but again, on these restarts, the outside lane always seems to have a bit of a deficit. He's pulled back. Victor Pfluger looking underneath him down the backstretch here.
I'm just intrigued with this fuel strategy kind of thing, too. I'm just thinking here, we've only had 1 caution per incident. Yeah, 1 caution per incident.
Yeah,
so
1
far.
caution, yeah.
Other than the stage caution. So far, so good as far as the clean racing is concerned. That might be a play that they can use if we stay green here. I'm telling you, the racing gets chaotic. And the closer we get to the end of this race, it's just going to ramp up a little bit more. So I'm not so sure we can bank on going green from here.
I can't say I can disagree with you at this particular point. But
there you go. It's around. Darren Clement. Contact with Alex Murphy. Oh, and now there's a wreck back there. Unfortunately, Clark Kinnikin involved. Runs in the back of Alex Murphy there off the pace. And, yeah, guess I spoke it into existence here.
Yeah, I was about to say, commentator curse.
All right, well. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
and Clark just touched them, and then it went from worse to like a quick bump to worse.
Alex Murphy was the one with the contact going into. They were almost 4 wide into turn 3. Let's go back and look at the replay. Best one tied on it here is the replay here. It's already in motion here. Let's back this up. Going down the back stretch. I was watching this 3 wide racing here. Unfortunately,
it goes to 29 if Derek Cat got in the back of 30 going in the corner.
It wasn't Darren. Yeah, I jumped to Darren. It wasn't Darren Clement. It was Derek Cat. Hey.
You had the D right.
Yeah. Well, it's DK versus DC.
But Clark Innikin, nowhere to go. And like I said, it started out as a minor tap, but then the 30 came back down and just turned the 27 up into the fence. I think that truck is seriously hurt.
You know what? I think Alex Murphy kind of missed the entry of the corner there. Ends up a little higher than he wanted to be and had to check up. And Derek didn't really have time to react in that situation.
I mean, yeah, it did look like he kind of went in a little higher than I thought he was looking to go. But yeah, unfortunate circumstances for everybody involved for sure.
You look at the speeds around the truck. Yeah, he just kind of gets up there a little too high, and unfortunately, Derek was just right there, and they were almost 3 and 4 wide. And you're right there, the 27. He's going to be kicking himself being put back there to begin with that contact with the 3 racing up front. Just in the wrong place, wrong time, and man, had to be back there.
Yeah. But while we've been watching the replays here, a little bit of strategy playing out. Nicholas Moreau and a few other guys pitted on lap 89. So now we got guys that pitted on lap 83. We got guys with 6 laps fresher tires. But the reason why I'm really specifically bringing this up is maybe they couldn't make it on fuel. And now can Justin Gann and the guys up front, can they truly make it on fuel? Because I guarantee you the guys that just pitted onto this caution absolutely can.
Yeah, the caution laps are going to help the guys that stayed out here. Those fresh tires are going to help the guys that pitted. But yeah, definitely the guys that pitted, they're going to be able to make it from here. We saw a longer run than this before, right there after the stage. So yeah, I don't know if the caution laps are going to be able to let those guys up front make it, but definitely the guys that stopped, they're going to be hammered down back here trying to use those fresh tires and use that extra fuel to get back towards the front. So you're going to have kind of a coalescing of the drivers that stopped and the drivers that stayed out, and you're going to meet in the middle there.
Well, yeah, Nicholas was restarting, I think, 17th. 17th. So he's got 16 trucks between him and the lead right now that can definitely take the life of his tires. And we're going to go one more lap here.
Yeah, we're going to extend it here and make sure everybody gets in the right position. Once again.
So this puts Justin Gann in the lead. Victor Pfluger now up to second. Austin Demore third. Kyle Milken fourth. And then we got Stephen Hassett. Actually, we have Jack Ritchie fifth and Stephen Hassett sixth. We got Robert Malikian seventh and Daryl Clemens eighth. So we got a little bit different look up front here now.
This extra caution, once again, is going to help the guys that stayed out here, too. So all this kind of playing into their hands right now. So it'll be in a little better shape and have that track position. And Pfluger, Demore, Milliken.
Even at the end of the day, though, the guys that just stop are going to have 6-lap newer tires.
Yes.
Is that going to make a difference? I don't think that's going to make 16 spots worth of difference.
I think it'll make a difference. I just don't know how much of a difference. I don't know. I'm not out there. I haven't experienced it. I don't know how big of a difference it's going to be, but they will have a little bit of an advantage We'll see if it's enough, as Gann's going to lead him down. Victor Fluger in second. A couple of teammates towards the front there. Boy, be careful from that 3 truck if you're a teammate. Green flag.
Yeah, there's a lot of teammate on teammate going on up there. But so far so good, as Victor Fluger is going to fall back. Austin Demore going to make his way up to second from the bottom lane, as the 72 and sometimes the 42 are side by side going down the backstretch.
He got low, almost a little too low. I think he touched apron there. Demore make that pass, make it work. Pulls on the back bumper. The 3 of Gann, right on the back bumper of Gann. 2, 3, and 4.
Watch out! Here comes Kyle Milliken
to the outside. Here comes the 42. Battle for the lead.
I think he might get it here.
He's going to pull out front. Kyle Milliken taking that spot. 42 said thank you very much. We'll be seeing you guys.
Behind this, I'm watching the 15 of Nicholas Moreau, 3 wide, trying to make his way up through the pack.
There's Jack Ritchie again fighting for third, now fighting for second. Ooh, close with Gann there off the corner. I tell you what, Gann has been one to watch here. But Ritchie all the way from the back, now in third position. Is Jack Ritchie going to have something to say about this one?
He's going to say, Austin, why don't you take a shot at it? As Austin Demore shoots to his outside, put him up into third.
Racing intensely back here behind him. Stephen Hassett, Aaron Satcher, side by side. Atkins on on.
Yep, Austin Demore to the outside of Justin Gann for second.
Greg Gardner, the track. He's through the grass on the front stretch, going to rejoin into turn 1. Here's Nicholas Moreau working his way through on the bottom side. Oh, car in front of him in the wall. Going to stay to the bottom and get that position as well.
Aaron Satcher in the 13, yeah. But, yeah, Nicholas just wrapping the bottom here, making his way by trucks every lap here. He's moved his way up to 9th now on those new tires. With Britt Casey not far behind him in 12th, also on new tires.
Battle for the lead. Austin Moore to the outside of the 42. Kyle Milliken. Side by side through 1 and 2. We're trying to use that momentum on the top side. Sorry, that's a battle for second. Sorry, yeah. Kyle Milliken.
That's Justin Gann.
He wasn't even in my shot. I didn't know he was out there. He's run off the hit.
Yeah, he's a second out in front of these guys.
Ooh, Demore in the wall again. Off turn 4.
Yeah.
A lot of wall contact.
Demore and DeWall.
The more he hits it, the more damage he's going to get.
We could do this all night, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. I'll see myself out.
3 wide. We're going to see 3 wide into turn 3 here with the 15, the 72, and the 32.
Moreau making quick work of these trucks here as he looks to the inside of Jack Ritchie and the 32 of Darren Clement. Now Ritchie going to fight the 15, Mano Imano.
What wasn't the 72 just fighting for second like 2 laps ago?
15 and like 17.
Man, things are changing, but wait. Look, a couple trucks behind him. And I see the 17 of Ryan Chapman also on new tires from lap 89.
Yeah, Chapman on the redemption tour here. Making something out of nothing, man. He had a tough start of it, but now he is working himself towards the top 10. Inside the top 10 in 10th spot.
Nicholas finally clears the 72 of Jack Ritchie, so put Nicholas up to 6th spot.
Jonathan Atkins, Victor Fluger, and now the 15 Nicholas Moreau. I tell you what, you couldn't have 2 different guys. You got the 15 bottom feeding, and you got that 1 truck up against the wall.
Top riding.
You could fit about 3 trucks between them. Maybe long ways.
Don't say that. If gap equals car. Nicholas looks like he may push his way past the 1 of Jonathan Atkins, and does, although Jonathan is coming back at him down the backstretch. Meanwhile, up front, Kyle Milliken out to a 1.5 second lead over Justin Gann. 3 wide down the front stretch. Oh, ooh. Contact.
Little contact. Jack Ritchie, Stephen Hassett.
We knew who's on the outside. That would be Jonathan Evans.
No, you don't say. Oh, he's on the
Oh,
wall
yeah.
just a little bit off turn 2 there as well.
Ryan Chapman moved himself up along outside of Jack Ritchie, trying to make the outside move for him.
A lot of trucks in a little space there. Hassett. Oh, little contact, I think, from the 17 there off the corner. Hassett needs to pick a lane here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was just wiggly loose before he had the contact. But yeah, Ryan Chapman way up top.
Wrapping the top there. They come off the corner with the momentum. He's going to look to the inside of Hassett. Into turn 3. Right behind him, Britt Casey, Jack Ritchie going at it.
Britt Casey also on newer tires than a lot of these guys. I'll tell you what, at this point, anything from here on up, I mean, Ryan Chapman pulling one out with strategy, and anything at this point is a win for him.
It has been quite the eventful night for him, for sure. Starting from, what, lap 2, you said?
Yeah. He had to, I think he got and we can maybe ask later, but I think he got a penalty and had to do a pass-through.
All this happening behind your leader, the 42, Kyle Milliken. Big lead for him, out front by just over a second over Justin Gann, Victor Fluger, and Austin DeMore. And I tell you what, we got a caution. I'll tell you later.
Okay. The 89.
Chris Gore. Around in turn 3 and 4, or is that 1 and 2? I can't tell.
That's 1 and 2, I believe.
Okay.
It says it right on the wall.
Well,
3 wide goes.
All right, let's go back and look at our best one tire and auto care instant replay to see what happened here before Richie spoils it. 3 and almost 4 wide. And it goes wrong in a hurry there for some of the trucks. Oh, some guys getting a piece of it late on.
That would be Tony Solari up in the wall.
Do you have anything with Brett Gardner going on track?
No, I think Brett Gardner was putting one off a couple of laps ago.
That was earlier on. Oh, he gets hit and he gets knocked down.
Oh! Joseph Burgess.
Let's go back and look at this actual incident here. Because, of course, we're going to miss it. We're going to back this up and see how they ended up. Christopher Harrison gets loose in front of him there. Might be spooked everybody a little bit. Up the track is, who is that got him?
I didn't see it.
You don't know who got Chris Gore?
Oh, Chris Gore, that would be the 50 of Martin Gros.
All right, let's back it up and ride on board with the 50 of Gros and kind of see what he saw going into turn 1. Kind of 3 wide with the 36 there. See him getting loose in front. Chris Gore just comes in the corner there. I think Martin Gros up the track a little bit. Chris Gore maybe down a little bit. And they just kind of go for the same spot.
And then, unfortunately, Chris Gore was almost done spinning, and a high-flying 60 of Joseph Burgess comes in and just finishes him off.
Got him with the 60. He was on the outside of Casey McMullen. Didn't really have much of anywhere to go there. He was gonna have a tough time missing that one. Just
yeah, I really didn't look at it all. I just saw him come in.
He's on pit road with Chris Gore, getting some damage fixed there. Well, we had some pit stops.
We did, and that takes out the were they going to make it, were they not going to make it type of conversation, because now everybody can make it.
Do we have some strategy up front? We got Stephen Hassett coming out, our leader, Kyle Milliken in second. So
it looks like Stephen Hassett took 2 tires. I'm not 100% sure. Kyle, I think, did 4 tires, and then we have Zach Stevens in a 21 who took 2 tires. But look who's right there. Nicholas Moreau made up enough that he is right there.
And look who's not there. That's 17.
Yeah, I'm just looking.
Ryan Chapman back in the pack now, 23rd position.
I'm wondering if he had some kind of damage somewhere because he spent 54 seconds, which is about 14 seconds more than everybody else on pit road.
Claw out of that. Try to claw back some of his position he got. But yeah, Stephen Hassan out front with some a strategy call. Kyle Milliken, your front row. Justin Gann, Pfluger, and Nicholas Moreau, your top 5 as they come to the restart zone. Getting the green flag. Going to be 26 laps remaining as the green flag flies here at Kansas.
Kyle was up front because he was up front. He actually was leading when that caution came out. So, but not a great start on the outside for him as both Justin Gann and Nicholas Moreau pushed through and misjudged. I'm not sure if they didn't think that the 91 was going to...
Here comes the 42, 3 wide to the inside, fighting for the lead.
The 88 of Britt Casey up behind them. They're 3 wide.
Hassan is a roadblock right now. And look at the mess behind them. 4 wide.
There's 4 wide behind them.
Everybody got to filter down into turn 1 here. Give each other room. They are 4 wide. So Hassan back out of it right there, trying to get out of... Michael Thwaites backing out of it, trying to get out of that hornet's nest. They are all over each other. Meanwhile, up front, the battle for the lead continues. It's the 3 of Gann trying to hold off the 42 of Kyle Milliken.
Now, we have seen the 3 take it easy on the first couple laps of a run, and he is not doing that now. Are they going to go 3 wide into 1 here?
Moreau looking to the inside. He's going to make it 3 wide. 3 wide into turn 1 for the lead.
I don't think that's going to work out for Moreau.
Is he going to still be there? Yes, he is. They're still fighting for this lead here. No, Moreau's going to tuck back in. Kyle Milliken going to tuck back in behind Justin Gann. So right now they are single file for the first 4 positions. Jonathan Atkins to the top. Surprise. Surprise.
I don't think he's been off the top the entire night. He's been up here the whole time.
First racing back here, Stephen Hassett, Jack Ritchie, J.C. Evans entering 9th spot. We are getting down to it. 23 laps remaining here at Kansas, and you can tell the knobs have been turned to 11.
Yeah, and like I said, Justin Gann usually takes it easy and lets the run come to him. This time, however, it's... Oh, we got a yellow.
Caution is out.
Looks like Derek Catton at 29.
Yep, 29 off the pace, and again, he's not showing as far as the paint goes as well. So,
yeah, I got him in a black and yeah, with red stripes.
And red, yes.
Yeah.
And maybe a little white from the wall now. Let's look at our best more tire and auto care instant replay. See what happened to Derek Cat. Coming off the corner. Coming off the corner, coming down the track, truck there. And he just comes to a stop.
Now, I am not one for, well, actually I am. I'm all for conspiracy theories. But that truck that he came down on, that was Alex Murphy, who was just recently spun into the fence by the 29. So this would be question number 2 for those 2 trucks together.
Why did he come to a stop is my question. He just stops on the track right there.
The reason I got for last night for somebody doing that was he did not feel he had control of his truck and didn't want to wreck half the field.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm going to assume that would be the same reason.
And to be honest with you, though, I don't think it was on Murphy as much as it was.
No, it looked like the cat claws were out on that.
Well, I don't know. I think he did come back up the track a little bit. The initial contact was on the 29, and then, yeah, I don't know. A little disagreement back there. But like I said, I'm not really sure why you would stop there.
And yeah, this is the second caution in a row now involving these 2 guys. So Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but Cat Claws came out.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
Yeah, I know. I just felt like saying it again. I liked it so much, I figured I'd do it again.
I hear you. And just again, your leader, Kyle Milk, in second. Nobody choosing to pit here. Like I said, 20 laps to go when they hit the line this time by, and you definitely want the track position at this point. But you're right. You were talking about Gann kind of jumping to full speed early on here. You know, before he was. Why is there a pace car on the apron? Any idea?
Welcome to Kansas.
But anyway,
that's where he paces. It's where he paces here.
Geez, that just threw me off. I don't know why in the world. Anyway, you talked about Gann kind of being a long run truck, but trying to have some short run speed here. He's going to have to. He wants to maintain this lead. If Kyle Milliken gets the lead and is able to drive away like he did before, they're going to have a hard time catching him in 20 laps.
I totally, absolutely agree. So we'll find out what happens here. We are doubled up, and I'm just looking at chat. We got the 69 with a fan out there, Kenneth Forstner, saying, "Let's go 69. Welcome to the stream, and welcome to the league." We got a Ryan Chapman fan out there, and then we got Atkins running the Larson line, and it's working. So thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe, and hopefully you like what you're hearing and seeing here.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a 17 fan out there. I don't see his mom in chat like he usually is watching along. She might be out there watching, but he's had to put in some work tonight. Unfortunately, he's got a little work to do as he's in 17th spot. But up front, it's going to be Justin Gann, Kyle Milliken, front row as we get the restart with 19 laps remaining. Gann way up the track, and he's going to get the green flag.
Gann chose the outside there. It's the first time we've seen anybody do that, and yeah, he still rockets out, but Nicholas Moreau is heading to the outside of Kyle Milliken.
Yeah, I think the leader could choose pit lane and start and still have the lead with the restart the way it is. So
caution! Oh, not caution, but a wreck.
Got a big mess back here. A truck sideways on the track. There's Ted pulling against the wall, and Martin Garreau. No, not Martin Garreau. Sorry, Ted pulling against the wall. And I don't know who was sideways there near the track, but caution is going to fly once again here.
I know that the 3 wide had Aaron Satcher. Aaron Satcher. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think Marshall Johnson went off track there as well. Let's go back and look at our best one tied auto carry screenplay going down the backstretch here. A mess of trucks, and unfortunately, yeah, Aaron Satcher gets turned sideways and locks it down to keep from coming back up in traffic. It'd be a scary sight for him, and unfortunately, Ted Pullen gets a piece of that and gets sent to the inside wall.
Although outside of that, it didn't look like it did too much to Aaron Satcher's truck, and Ryan Chapman obviously kept going there, so almost no harm, no foul, but we seem to be ratcheting it up here, and some of these guys seem to be wound a little too tight. Maybe need to unratchet it a little bit to make it to the end here.
So Ted moved up just a little bit and caught Aaron Satcher there, tight racing off the corner with Ryan Chapman on his inside. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit and see. Satcher on the top there. Chapman on the bottom. Unfortunately, Aaron. Yeah, I think Ted maybe moved up a little bit in the air to start that one off, but they were tight down the backstretch 3 wide there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering maybe if Ted thought that Ryan was up a little farther than he was, and just got up into Aaron a little bit, which does happen.
There was a secondary wreck there. Who was that?
I didn't see that.
Was that? Well, Tony Solari was.
Casey McMullen and
yeah.
one of the cars.
Was that Marshall Johnson? I think it's Marshall Johnson. If you're round aboard with Tony Solari, you got to get view of this. They get through the wreck.
Derek Cat. Marshall Johnson and Derek Cat. Marshall kept going. It was Derek that I think kind of spun.
Okay, it was Marshall that I saw. Yeah, barely missed the truck.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Yep.
So we get by the initial wreck. You'll see it happening there. And then Derek Cat gets spun there. Marshall's like, where do I go? Where do I go? Goes through the grass. Same thing with Casey McMullen. Did Derek get contact from behind?
Maybe with that black and green truck right there.
Who is that black and green there?
That would be Forster.
Yes,
who's
Forster.
got another admirer in chat. We got a Jennifer Forster in there. So,
well, admirers are fine, but we had some stalkers the other night. Or at least that's what
I'm not getting involved in that one.
That's what we were told. That there was a stalker.
So we are double file going down the backstretch here. We're getting ready to get this thing ready to go, and now we got the two trucks.
What's this truck on the apron doing here?
15. I mean, I'm not sure what the 60 is doing. I'm assuming he came out of the pits. And we're going to go one more lap to figure this out.
Some crazy stuff happening tonight. Not just with the racing, with the officiating, with the pace car. It's interesting line down the front stretch.
Let me assume that the 60 came out of the pits.
Yeah, and it's probably telling him to line up with the leaders for some reason, which I don't know.
So when he came out of the pits, he came out of a closed pit, and he was around where the leaders were. And that's probably what it's telling him to do. I mean, I would have came down pit road at this particular point to get out of the way, but me.
Yeah.
So apparently we're going to restart 3 wide.
He's at least 1 lap down.
Several. He's 6 laps down. Well, I'm not sure, but you know who's loving this is Justin Gannon at 3 car as these laps are counting.
1 lap less, he'll have to fend off Nicholas Moreau, who's now in second.
Yep.
Kyle Milliken, Brick Casey. A couple of teammates right there in the second row. Jonathan Atkins, Victor Pfluger, Jack Ritchie, Brett Gardner, Stephen Hassett, Simon Magnan, your top 10.
And Jonathan Atkins is restarting on the bottom, so I'm sure he's out of no idea where he's out of his depth.
So we are going to restart 3 wide with the lap truck on the bottom. Unfortunately, the iRacing officiating is broken, but he's going to stay down there and stay out of the way. Green flag flies, and I tell you what, Kyle Milken did not. Oh, we got a caution immediately.
And it would be the 29.
In the grass.
Cat.
Let's go back and see what happened to him on the restart here. Check up front.
No check.
The 29.
No checkup in the back. You cannot go faster than the guy in front of you on a restart.
Yeah, he checked up not getting the back of the cars that were checking up, and unfortunately Aaron Satcher did not see that. And around he goes.
I guarantee you that started with somebody who was trying to go faster than the guy in front of him before the start. So,
as a matter of fact, let's go forward and see if we can see. Oh, looks like somebody, Austin Moore, maybe missed the shift or something. No, he got into somebody too.
Yeah, like I said, it's always and actually, I believe I hear somebody else say this all the time, that you go when the guy in front of you goes. You can't go through him.
Yeah, was that Darren? Was it Darren Clement getting a little bit of a check up there?
Simon Magnan looked like in front of him actually might have started it.
Yeah, it's just. But again, the 42 did not go on this restart either. which also may have contributed to that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird because I always, if I'm not starting in the first couple rows, I always try to leave just a little bit extra room just in case something happens in front of you. You make it up by the time you get to turn one. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if you're back there too, I mean, listen, there's a lot that can happen between the start finish line of the restart, and getting through 1 and 2. I mean, you know, you can't make it all up in turn 1.
Well, everybody thinks that if you don't start right behind the guy in front of you, that you're going to lose out, and it's not the case. I mean, you can leave that little bit of an extra gap to make sure you don't tear up your truck and still make it in the corner with the guy in front of you. So it's I guess one half the other if you want to be overly aggressive, but then you take a chance of the mighty checkup happening.
Well, the good news is we did kind of get rid of the lap truck of Joseph Burgess from the front of the field. He did get one of his laps back through all that, but
so I just caught the pace car. I really didn't see how low he was going.
Yeah.
And he's almost on the grass.
Yes. Not
Is
sure.
he trying to cool? Wait a minute. Is he trying to cool his left side tires?
Maybe. I mean, he has done quite a few laps here as of late, so hopefully
wasn't that the thing from Spa? The 24 hours of Spa, they were running in the grass with tires. So maybe he's trying that trick. All right, here we go. Stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. We got how many laps to go here?
It's going to be 10 laps to go at the line. 10-lap shootout. Yeah, between Justin Gann, Nicholas Moreau, Britt Casey, Kyle Milliken, Jonathan Atkins. Now your top 5. The battle from last week continues on this week from the front row. Justin Gann, your leader. Nicholas Moreau in second. We'll see what happens here. Kyle Milliken willing to get down and dirty as well. We'll see what happens from back there as the green flag flies. 10 laps remaining here at Kansas.
Great start by both the 3 and the 15 as the 42 with a little issue still getting up to speed, which gives Nicholas plenty of room. Jonathan Atkins makes it by Britt Casey, so put Jonathan up to 4th. There's some really blocking going on.
Yeah, that's what I was
some
seeing
major
there.
Blocking. It gets to his outside.
It does. Outside through 3 and 4, trying to use that momentum to the top side. Nicholas Moreau.
Yellow.
Caution. Who's leading at the time of caution? We'll figure that out. So we do have a mess back here as it's gone all to pieces. Looks like Chris Gore involved again. Tony Solari involved in this one as well. Let's go back to look at our best one tire Obamacare instant replay. 3 wide, Chris Gore in the middle. What a mess.
Tony just sandwiched. Oh, and Marshall Johnson destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when you're on the bottom, you're cruising around like I got this cleared, and nope, car or truck.
So go down the backstretch into turn 3. It's Christopher Harrison on the bottom. Who's it on the top? Is that Austin Demore?
Austin Demore, yeah.
And yeah, Chris just up the track. I don't know if he got loose or what. Up the track into Austin, and unfortunately comes down, swipes the side of that black truck, number 30, and then across the nose of the 11. And then Demore comes down the track and collects the 9.
9, yeah.
Of Marshall Johnson. Got to lock it down, guys. Driving down the track in front of traffic. That's a good way to get destroyed.
So this all starts from the restart. The 21 does not get a good start in front of the 12. The 12 lifts, and the 89 and the 87 both drive underneath the 12, going into 1 to make it 3 wide right there from the start.
Solari's view of this. He sees it right in front of him. The 89 gets up the track and loose, and then gets sandwiched between the 2 of them.
Yeah, he was just an innocent bystander there.
We'll watch Marshall Johnson here. Or will we?
Make sure you got your seatbelt on if you're going to watch for Marshall Johnson.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one here. Sees it at the track. We stand. Oh, just across the track, Austin DeMore.
And you know, Marshall's like, I got this cleared. They're all up there. I'm going to make it through on the bottom. And
just hoping it stays up there. Unfortunately, it did not.
So Nicholas Moreau was in front at the time of the caution.
Ooh, that is huge for him. He's going to have the preferred starting position. He's going to choose the inside. We're going to get that jump on the start. Just barely nosed ahead there when the caution came out. That's what I said when it came out. I was going to be interested to see how iRacing scored that, and they gave it to Moreau over Gann. Atkins now in third. Kyle Milliken in fourth. And Brett Casey.
Reversed it. Milliken third, Atkins fourth, which puts Atkins on the outside, which is his preferred lane going in. But again, just you don't seem to be able to get through 1 and 2 on the outside as good as the guys on the bottom. So we'll see what happens with Kyle. He's not had a fantastic set of restarts the last 2 times.
He hasn't. Going to have to get up on the wheel here if he wants to be in contention here. But he is in the preferred lane as they enter turn 1 on the bottom, so we'll see if he can do something with it. But it is Nicholas Moreau out front. Justin Gann in second, your front row here. Again, your finishers from Bristol. Green flag flies as you're going to have 6 laps remaining here at Kansas.
And again, Kyle not with a great start as both Justin Gann and Jonathan Atkins both make it by him. Put the number 1 truck in the third, right behind the 3 truck.
Atkins pushing Gann all the way through the corner. Almost like a super speedway restart. He's still on the back bumper as they go into 3.
Do we have a contact rule that you're not allowed to push down the straightaway like NASCAR does?
Link up like that, kind of stay on their bumper. It worked out for him. But here comes Kyle Milliken to the underside, underneath the 1 of Jonathan Atkins. And the 3 of Gann has caught the 15 of Moreau.
I don't know if he's got enough time to be able to work that outside yet. These tires are still too new as here comes Kyle Milliken working his way, looking for second with Justin Gann.
Yeah, Gann was up the track in 1 and 2. I think he lost a little time there. Oh, Kyle Milliken loose in 3.
With that going on, Victor Pfluger has made it by Jonathan Atkins, and as Britt Casey's working on Jonathan Atkins.
Yeah, I think
Atkins going the wrong way.
Atkins needed a longer run there to kind of use that top where he likes to run. He's up there, but he's going backwards right now. Meanwhile, Gann trying to run down Nicholas Moreau, who's maintained a pretty good lead here.
Nicholas is, they're still in the territory of the bottom being the dominant lane. It's going to be a tough one for the 3 to make it to the outside of the 15.
It's been a common theme. Like I said last week, those guys going into battle here. The roles are reversed now, though. Nicholas Moreau needing to hold on against a charging Justin Gann. Can he do it? Gann, a little arrow wash, I think, off the corner. Going to be up the track just a little bit.
Don't count out that 42. He is looking spicy tonight. You know, Rondo, it's what plants crave.
He's creating this lead.
Yeah, he's definitely working it.
I'll tell you what, if they ever get side by side in front of him, he's going to have a shot. You saw before, he's willing to throw it in there 3 wide. Here comes Gann looking to the inside. We're going to move down and cover that off as they enter turn 1.
And while this is going on, there is some major racing going on from 9th on back, 8th on back actually. They're 2 and 3 wide with Simon Magnan, Jack Ritchie, Brian Chapman, J.C. Evans.
All right, as they come to the white flag, 1 lap remaining here at Kansas. And it is the top 3 under a blanket up front. Nicholas Moreau, Justin Gann, Kyle Milliken. 1, 2, 3. Can Gann do anything to get around the 15 truck of Moreau?
He threw it in there on 1, but I think that ended up hurting him more than anything. He lost the whole truck length. I don't think he's got anything for Moreau unless he can dive and get underneath him here.
Desperation move into 3, but he can't get there. Watch who's up the track. It's going to be Nicholas Moreau coming off turn 4. He is going to win the Kansas 200 for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series.
Wow, I mean, it wasn't as close as last week, but what a finish. Kyle Milliken with a third place. Britt Casey, oh my, some really great runs there.
Yeah, Britt Casey with a fourth place. Great run for him. A couple of teammates third and fourth. That team, Elevated Esports, great run for them tonight. Unfortunately, did not involve Ryan Chapman, who I'm looking down. Okay, finished 14th. So
yeah, I had mentioned it with like 2 to go that there was just a absolute bee's nest there from like 9th on all the way back. And yeah, that was crazy.
So redemption from last week. Inches apart, Nicholas Moreau finishes second to Justin Gann last week. He beats Justin Gann this week. Another 1-2 finish for the duo, though. And are we starting to see a little rivalry maybe blossoming between the two of them? It's going to be Gann getting the best of the two tonight. Moreau Motorsport going to victory lane.
Well, and so last week, Justin beat Nick by inches at the line. And this week, Nick beat Justin by inches for that yellow flag, which would be the Reese's Sweet move of the race. Just beating him when that caution came out to take the lead.
That was, I believe, the determining factor. Getting control of the race with that caution coming out when it did was all he needed. He needed controlled that. The dirty air behind him, just again unable to make a move. Nicholas Moreau taking home the victory here tonight. Let's look at our results here from the Kansas 200 with Nicholas Moreau taking home the win. Justin Gann in the number 3 truck finishes in second spot. He had an eventful night, but does come home with a solid second place finish. Kyle Milliken ran up front all night. Great effort, great performance for him and his team. Milliken finishes up in third. His teammate Britt Casey was in contention as well all night. Finishes in fourth spot right behind him. Victor Pfluger shows up late. Gets a top 5 finish. Great points night for him. Stephen Hassett finishes up in sixth spot. He kind of was under the radar tonight, but he moved up from where he started and fell into a top 10 position, the second half of this race. Jonathan Atkins, high side enhancement, finishes in 7th spot in the number 1 Chevrolet. 8th spot for Brett Garner, right where he qualified in that Ram. 9th spot going to Simon Magin in the number 46. And 10th, J.C. Evans in the number 48. 11th spot going to go to the 72 of Jack Ritchie. Darren Clement finishes in 12th. 13th for Ty Lounsbury. And 14th spot for the 17 of Ryan Chapman.
15th spot, we have Michael Thwaites. Brian Bliss finishes 16th. Zach Stevens comes home 17th with Casey McMullen 18th. Ted Pullen 19th with David Nestor 20th. Alex Murphy 21st. Michael Blackner comes home 22nd in the 22. Love the numbers. Derek Catt comes home 23rd. Robert Malikian 24th. Aaron Satcher comes home 25th. Christopher Harrison 26th. Martin Garreau finishes 27th. Joseph Burgess finishes 28th. Austin Demore finishes 29th. Chris Gore 30th. Tony Solari comes home 31st. Mike Forrester comes home 32nd. Marshall Johnson 33rd. Clark Ginnigan, after the incident actually mid-race there, comes home 34th. Fred Moreau 35th after his early incident. Donnie Batiste 36th. And Tanner Tomasi rounds out our 37 truck field.
All right, 37 trucks there tonight, but only one gets the checkered flag. That's going to be Nicholas Moreau getting it done here tonight. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk to our top 3 finishers and see what they have to say about tonight's exciting and spectacular finish here tonight at Kansas Speedway. We'll be right back after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. visit iRacing.com.
We are Best One.
The best tires.
The best customer service.
The best automotive service.
And the best customers. You see, Best One isn't just our name, it's who we are. Since 1948, Best One has been delivering quality and dependable tires and full-service automotive care to our customers. Best One, selling tires, serving people. We are Best One.
Back here at Kansas Speedway, finishing up the Kansas 200 for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series here on Full Throttle Television. We're going to throw it over to our post-race show. Our post-race show sponsored by the Fine Line of Whiskey podcast. You got to listen to these guys. I just listened to their latest episode. They talked racing. They talked about the race at Bristol and Ty Gibbs win and all that stuff. And they also kind of dove into one of the broadcasters there, Nick Alford, having his first, or I don't know his first, but having a child over the past week. His wife gave birth, and he kind of covered some of that. That's what you get there. You get the storylines from the NASCAR race, and you get a little personal side stories as well. So a lot of fun to listen to. You got to give them a listen. You can find the Fine Line Whiskey podcast on the Apple podcast and also on Spotify. And you can find a link to their podcast on Spotify down in the description here on the stream as well. So definitely check them out and give them a listen, see what you think. Very entertaining, a lot of fun. Like this race. This race was a lot of fun, too. We're going to talk to our top three finishers and see what they have to say about tonight's race. We're going to start with a third-place finisher, Kyle Milk. And Kyle, man, congratulations. What an exciting, it looked fun out there anyway. It looks like it was a lot of fun out there, battling for the lead, battling in the top 10 there. You stayed up there all night, had a really strong truck. You and Britt Casey both really put on a show out there tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. That was a pretty good run. The team went two different approaches on the sets tonight. A lot of the guys were pretty trimmed out. I went with a little more downforce tonight. Early on in that race, I was just managing my tires, letting guys go, and then once the stage ended, then I tried to just stay up front there. And on one of the restarts, got side by side. I was just like, well, there's a lot of laps left. It's not going to go to the end without a yellow. So I just tried to get to the front, put a gap on the guys, and then just let them come back to me, knowing we're probably going to get a yellow. And sure enough, it happened. And then fortunately at the end, it wasn't a lot of racing in the last 20 laps, but it was fun racing with those guys.
A little more pacing than racing there at the end. I know it's kind of disappointing to see as well, man. But listen, on that one restart, it's interesting to hear you say you put a little more downforce in the truck, because on that one restart, you get out front and you just drove away from them. You just drove out to a second lead. At one point, I was watching the guys battle for second, thought it was the lead because you weren't even in the frame. So it's surprising to hear you say you had more downforce, but it seemed like a truck was fast when you got in clean air.
Yeah, and it looked like guys were a little unsettled on the restarts until they got up to speed. So I tried to just get to the front and stay up there. I knew they'd eventually catch me back, but I figured if I'm up front, I'm not going to run into a wreck.
Yeah, for sure. And there was a little bit of that there at the end too. I know there was a little bit of chaos working on there behind you, but it seemed like it was really important to kind of have a good restart though, because you never knew there at the end. I know we had several restarts. You had to really kind of get position on the guys and try to get those passes made quickly in case a caution comes out. Talk about the thought process there. I know at the end of these races, when you see caution after caution, you're like, okay, I need to get it done quick, and you turn up the aggression a little bit, and that in itself can be a problem. How do you kind of manage that on those late race restarts?
I'm usually pretty conservative on those restarts. I don't do this often enough to know the ins and outs of it, but it was just mainly make sure I'm clear. A lot of guys like to dive bomb, and I just held to the floor. Having being able to lean on the truck with the extra downforce, I think it really helped on those restarts when everyone was going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, it looked good out there, man. You had that number 42 Brondo. We got a reference in for the movie as well. So appreciate that. You running up front. Looking good out there. That Brondo number 42, finishing third tonight, man. Congratulations. I'm going to throw it to you, let you do your shout outs and your sponsor plugs.
Yeah, maybe something a little different tonight. I've been doing this a long time, and this is definitely a different era of racing. I'm the old man, I guess, but man, I see a lot of low percentage moves early on, just chicken shit blocks and people playing games on restarts. It's getting better though. I think as those guys get thinned out, it'll get better. But I still had fun tonight. But yeah, it's definitely a different era we're in. But yeah, thanks to my teammates, elevated. It was good to see Britt up front on a mile and a half. I know he's had some computer issues lately, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys at Pocono. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats once again. We'll see you next week at Pocono Raceway. All right. That's your third place finisher, Kyle Milliken, finishing up in that strong third position of that Toyota, that Brondo Toyota that you like so much, Richie. But Richie, I think
It's what plants need.
I think you stood about with our second place finisher, our winner from Bristol, second place tonight, Justin Gann.
Yep, standing down here with the driver to number 3 truck, and he had a pretty I don't know how to call it, an exciting race, Justin.
Stressful. Yeah, exciting. I'm glad it's over kind of race.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you ran up front all night long. You definitely seem to have the best truck on the long run, except for maybe one truck, which would be your teammate of the 27. And then about midway through the race, there was a little bit of contact that happened between you and your teammate. Have you guys talked yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. He wasn't mad at me, at least to my face, but we were just racing hard at the end of the day, and trucks were super loose, and I told him I 100% took blame. I didn't even bother go look at it. I just know I got loose, and I whipped him with my left rear and sent him, and then unfortunately he got caught up in one of the
Yeah, he got.
cautions shortly after that. So then
Yep, yep, yep.
it just made it feel that much worse.
I mean, from one week to the next week, I think Speed Demons esports need to have a conversation about not having contact with each other out on the racetrack. But
Right.
fantastic drive. You had to lead all the way up until just before the caution came out, and that I don't even know. I don't even know if I could tell you how far out in front Nick was to get the lead when the caution came out, but that seemed to be a game changer. Was there anything else that you could have done that you think that maybe looking in hindsight you could have got that pass done on Nick there at the end?
Yeah, I think it just shows the skill and the racecraft that Nick has. I mean, at the end of the day, he baited me to the bottom and was able to get to my outside, to block him and everything. And I mean, that was a textbook move. So I honestly feel I was a third place truck tonight, and if anyone deserved to win, it was either Clark or Nicholas. So I'm not mad at second place. It would have been nice to somehow get the win, but I wasn't the truck that deserved to be there for sure.
Well, I mean, a lot of times the truck that deserves the win doesn't make it. Sometimes the fastest truck doesn't make it. But a first last week, a second this week, definitely two great finishes. Brody mentioned earlier, you guys swapped position between last week and this week. Is there a little bit of a rivalry starting here between the 3 of Justin Gann and the 15 of Nick Moreau?
Yeah, I mean it'd be nice to get a little bit closer in the points. He's got I just looked at the points. It looks like it's about a 50-point lead. So that's we still got a few races left. So we'll see where I end up. But it's going to be hard to catch him because he's very consistent. But a couple wins should put me right there. So we'll just have to see how the rest of the season goes.
Absolutely, and if you keep running the way you're running, I think it'll definitely be on for sure. But another great night. second place for you. So I'm going to open it up here for your sponsors and shout out plugs.
Yep. Vanlilys stickers, Icon Apparel, GTR simulators. You guys are putting the league on for us. Everybody over at Speed Demon. And I know there's a lot of caution tonight, but there was still a lot of good racing out there tonight. So shout out to all the drivers as well.
Yeah, actually, there was actually a ton. You didn't get to see it all because you were in the front pack all night long, but there was 2 or 3 wide racing all throughout the field tonight. So yeah, some great racing up front. Another great finish for you. Appreciate it, and we will catch you at the Talladega Super Speedway next week.
All righty, appreciate it, fellas.
Yep. All right, Brody. I think you might be down in victory lane this time with our flying Frenchman or French Canadian, Nicholas Moreau.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that Justin Gann didn't say, "Oh, it's impossible. He's 50 points." He said, "No, there's a chance. I just got to win a few races." I love the drive. I love the tenacity, and it's going to be fun going forward and seeing what he can do with tonight's winner, who's standing down here in victory lane with Nicholas Moreau. Nick, man, second last week. I know that kind of bothered you a little bit. It was so close. We talked about it after the race, and tonight you come on victorious. Gets a little bit of redemption over Justin, who finished right behind you tonight. Man, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Finally, I got it. So pretty happy for that race. I knew that it's Kansas is always the kind of these wild race, and that happened too. So very happy to get some caution at the end to challenge Justin.
Yeah, we say finally like you haven't won all these races and won championships here. Let's hey. But I know after last week, like I said, I know you were driven for sure to have a good run here tonight, and you do get the checkered flag, man. But talk about the late race restarts there. I know that's what I was talking to some of the other guys about, that these late race restarts can be hectic, can be dramatic, can be challenging to kind of keep your focus. You're in go mode, then you're in slow mode. Your go mode, slow mode, you're balancing out and back. And you have to kind of stay on your toes on these restarts and get a really good jump so that they don't jump you.
Well, yeah, but this time I was pretty confident about my short run truck. So, I tried to get Justin by the inside, and he just make a good job to block at that place and then make a move on the onside. But honestly, inside or onside, I knew that my pace would be maybe um, enough to pass him on the very short run. But you never know. But I was confident about that time.
Justin even said something about you faking him to the bottom there on one of those restarts. You kind of dove to the bottom. You had him come down to cover the bottom on the backstretch. You jumped to the top, go right around him. He was giving you props for that move. He said that's a textbook move right there. And that is kind of the move that won the race. It put you in control of the race when the caution came out. Just talk about that kind of sequence of events there.
Well, yeah. So I had a good pace to get him inside, and when I saw him just to stay in more than expected, so I didn't want to leave at all. So I'm like, I touch him or I pass outside. So I just move like cold trickle.
Well, it definitely worked out. Like I said, that caution coming out, giving you control, getting a great restart, and that's all it took there. You got that clean air, was able to hang on, man. It was fun to watch for sure. I'm going to throw it to Richie Coy, though. Richie, go ahead and take it away.
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, congratulations, Nick. Great run. But I'm going to ask you the same question I just asked Justin. The last week it was Justin, Nick. This week it's Nick, Justin. You guys seem to be running around each other every single week. Do we have a rivalry brewing here between the 15 of yourself and the 3 of Justin Gann?
Yeah. So definitely. So, but it's a clean one battle. So, for each other, I cannot talk for everyone, but sometimes we we learn each other. You know what I mean? So, he very smart, fast, and consistent, and um, I try my best to compete against me because he drives um, like I would do. So it's pretty hard. And yeah, last week was very close at the end. This time I got it, but we never know. he had these chances to. So yeah, so we'll see for the next few races for sure.
All right. Well, I mean, that's awesome to see. It's always fun when we got two guys out there running each other clean, but running each other as hard as they possibly can. So,
Yeah, for sure. You guys are putting on a show. You two kind of dominated the last couple of races, and it's blossoming into a pretty good battle to kind of watch there. I know he's got some points to make up, but he said he was not going to give up. He was going to fight and try to get a couple wins to get into contention here, but definitely one you're going to have to deal with going forward, Nick. Well, man, congratulations once again on the race win. You got some fans out there. I think Lucy Jean, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but she's saying go 15 out there. So hopefully you know who that is. And he or she was watching along and cheering you on there.
I have one fan at least.
One fan. We have one that commented. I'm sure there's more out there for sure, man. So, man, what a show you guys put on out there tonight. It's fun to watch you guys battle. Like you said, just so even. You were even saying that. You guys are so even and so evenly matched and clean driving and racing and all that. It's fun. It's that's what we do it for, is the competition and the rivalries that come from it, and friendly rivalries at that, not anything malicious or anything like that. So it's a lot of fun. You put on the show tonight. You won the race. Congratulations. Take the checkered flag and the trophy. I'm going to throw it to you though, and let you do your shout outs and sponsor plugs.
Yeah, thank you guys once again, and thanks for all of these watchers. Thanks Transit, my Easy crew, and my teammate too, because I knew that. Well, I worked a lot on that setup for this week, and when I sent it to Fred, it was like, yeah, it's good. And he found out something this afternoon, and we made some changes on this afternoon, and it was all awesome. So unfortunately, he got contact at some point, but yeah, so it's sadly for the team, but yeah, congrats for his find.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a team effort from Moreau Motorsports. But tonight is Nicholas Moreau taking on the checkered flag here tonight at Kansas under the lights. Nick, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Pocono Raceway.
Yes, sir. See you guys.
All right, there's your winner tonight, the 15 Nicholas Moreau. Richie, we head to Pocono with a new kind of a blossoming rivalry between the 15 and the 3. We're going to have to watch those guys, but don't count out the 17 of Ryan Chapman. He had an off night tonight, but he will bounce back like we've always seen. You got Clark Ginnikin, who had a rough night. He's going to come back. The storylines there's so many drivers. Victor Pfluger sneaking into the top 5. He's going to be a contender. Kyle Milliken turning up the heat at Elevated Esports. Britt Casey, a new driver coming in who's kind of figured it out. There's so many drivers that could take home victories and they could win any time in this truck series.
Well, first, I'd like to apologize to Justin. I apparently have him going to Talladega next week. I'm a week behind, so hopefully he gets to the right track next week.
I hope he didn't book his flight based on what you told him.
Yeah, but you forgot about Brett Gardner, who has 2 wins this series,
right,
and is actually sitting third in points.
He was leading the points at one point.
Yeah, so we have guys. I mean,
Jack Ritchie,
guys are plenty.
I could go on, and I'm sure that some are going to be upset that I didn't mention them, but there's so many of them that it's a lot of fun to watch these truckers battle week in, week out. We saw a 3 and 4 wide racing tonight. We're going to see that, if not maybe some more at Pocono, as wide as that track is. It's going to be wild and crazy.
5 and 6, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see those guys race around Pocono Raceway and see how things turn out there for sure. So definitely want to tune in next Wednesday, 9 p.m., right here on Full Throttle Television. We got a new sponsor for that race as well. Wraptor GRAPHIX comes on board. We're going to have some information from them, some driver spotlights, and a new commercial. That's going to be a lot of fun. Appreciate having them on board. I know they watch these races every week from what I've been told, and they put it on in their lobby, so I appreciate that as well. Those guys are coming in hot and heavy, and they're getting involved, and I love to see it. So Wraptor GRAPHIX, definitely want to check them out. Their link actually is in the description as well if you want to check them out and see what they offer. And close by, too, down in Georgia. So I'd love to see it. But that's going to do it for us here at Kansas Speedway. The Kansas 200 in the books. Nicholas Moreau, your winner tonight, under the lights at Kansas Speedway. So for everybody at Full Throttle Television, for Richie Coy, my name's Brady Hanna. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed like we did. And we'll see you next week from Pocono.